What's going on, guys? It's Greg here today, and I'm bringing you the first gameplay for the channel since Vanguard's release, and this is a hardpoint V2 rocket using the Automaton. I was using a weird setup on it because I was going for the camo challenge, and this one you had to use some kind of barrel with a 75 round mag and a certain stock or something on it, so, or maybe proficiency, something like that. So that's what we were doing in this gameplay, going for some camos, as well as I ended up getting a V2 rocket, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And I'm going to go over some initial tips for you guys. Got a couple class setups I'm going to go over. I think one of them is the Automaton, the other one's an STG44 build, and then I'm going to go over some perks that I've really been liking on the game for you guys. Also going to go over the trajectory paths on shooting down spy planes or counter spy planes with the bazooka, Panzerfaust, whatever, or Panzerschreck, whatever it is, whatever you guys are trying to do. So we'll go ahead over that. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So this right here is my Automaton build. Pause the video if you want to go ahead and copy it, but that is what I have been using right now ever since I finished all the challenges I possibly can. I still have some point blanks to do, but I'm not going to go ahead and worry about getting those done because there still is one camo category that you currently can't do, and there's quite a few issues and stuff like that. So I figured I'd go ahead, give you guys that class setup, and I'm going to go ahead and explain it real quick. So what this class is good for is it's good for aggression, is also very accurate, doesn't have a lot of bloom, as you guys may or may not know from Exclusive Ace. He's went over that bloom is actually in this game a mechanic found in Fortnite where your bullets don't really go where they're supposed to be, or where the point of aim, I should say, is. I personally think that bloom is acceptable in a third-person shooter, but in a first-person shooter with ADSing, I really don't think bloom should exist, and maybe there should just be a little bit of variance in the actual recoil patterns, but overall, where you're aiming is where your bullet should be going, and that's just my personal opinion. I know probably a lot of other people would agree with me because bloom just really kind of feels weird. It makes you think the hit reg is bad in the game when that's actually not the case. So, but yeah, this setup doesn't really have a lot of bloom. It's very pinpoint accurate, and I think you guys will really enjoy this setup on the Automaton. Now, some issues in the game right now. Server snapshot error is a big one. Server snapshot error has been crashing so many games. I have like 30 losses in the game, and like I swear like 22 of them are from the game just crashing, like the server crashing, I should say. It's just server snapshot error, timeouts, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully they fix that because it's really annoying whenever you're just winning a match or whatever, or you're on a comeback or whatever, and all of a sudden you're just kicked out of the game. It's like, really? Like, wow, what a great match that was, boys, am I right? So, yeah, if you're trying to get, maybe you're on a V2 streak. It happened to me when I was on a 23 gun streak. The server lagged out and crashed. It's happened actually multiple times on 20 pluses, so it's quite frustrating. I'm really hoping that they sort that out this week because servers have been quite rough. Also, the camo challenges on a lot of guns are currently bugged. It's very frustrating because some of them will say that you need to use this attachment or this proficiency, and guess what? The attachment or proficiency doesn't actually exist on the gun, so it's probably just an oversight. Hopefully, again, we'll get some updates this week because I know a lot of people are trying to get the mastery camos, including myself, and it's just very frustrating because, well, guess what? You can't. So, anyways, the Automaton is a gun, like I said, you want to play pretty aggressive with. It's a really good gun. You can have pinpoint precision at long range. Just know it's going to lack damage. Next up, we have the STG44, and I have quite a few nicknames for this gun, but I'm not going to mention them. Anyways, you guys probably already understand the frustrations in this game with the STG44, so I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys the absolute god setup on the STG44. So if people were, you know, personally for me, I start off every single match trying to use a gun that I want to level up, I want to get gold, right? And there's always those people that just think they're playing a scrimmage, they got to use the STG44, and it's the only thing they can use. So, you know, if you can't beat them, join them. So, there's my setup. That is probably one of the best STG44 class setups in the game. It is not for rushing, it's for ADS walking because it's like MW3 Stalker Pro with that setup. You can strafe around really fast, and overall it's a very good setup for holding down areas of the map and just playing like an assault rifle player would, you know, just kind of playing cover and just holding down, locking down spawns, all that kind of stuff. So it's a very good class setup for you guys that are looking for a good STG build to counter those STG spammers. So hopefully you guys will go ahead and copy that one. And now I'm going to go ahead and talk about my perks and why I've been using said perks. So I like to run Ghost, forward intel, and lightweight at the current time that I am recording this video. I think those are some of the best perks in the game. Now, if you are trying to shoot down kill streaks, which we're going to get into here shortly, I really think that Engineer is going to help you guys out a lot, but I really didn't want to confuse you guys with what the best perk setup is, so that's why I didn't have Engineer on. I put Forward Intel on. Forward Intel is going to let you know whenever people are spawning in. You see it on the radar right now. It's telling me that there are people spawning in outside of the view of, you know, where I'm at, and it's telling me, hey, there's a guy spawning in around that location. It's not always 100% accurate, but it tells you pretty much the vicinity of where enemies are kind of spawning at. It's really busted in its current state, and I think there should be a counter to it. Now, one of the things is I have noticed that not everybody always seems to show up on this. I'm not really quite sure what the counter is, or maybe it's just bugged. I don't really know. So, I think it's a really good perk, though, because you can see so much more of the minimap, and if you're using spy planes, advanced UAVs, all that kind of stuff, or, well, not advanced UAV, but the local informants, I think it is very, very powerful. Now, another really good setup is you can actually run, it's a perk one, Cold-Blooded. So I've been seeing a lot of people running High Alert, and High Alert's been pretty frustrating. Now, you can use the Dead Silence field upgrade because it's going to give you Silent Footsteps and Ghost. And the nice thing about the field upgrade Dead Silence is Ghost is always active. Even if you are sitting in a corner, it is always active. So it allows you to kind of play more stealthy, and it allows you to really think out how you want to play your life at that moment. Now, one of the things I do want to mention is that it doesn't last for a very long time, so you have to get more kills to refresh, obviously, so you still are going to be rushing around. But I think you guys are really going to like running Dead Silence, especially with Cold-Blooded, because you won't be triggering High Alert players. You'll have Ghost, you'll have Ninja. Overall, you pretty much have 3 perk 1s when you're running this, and you can pair it up with any other perk 1 that you want. I would not recommend running Ghost or Ninja, obviously, because, well, I mean, let's be real here. You kind of get that with Dead Silence, so it'd kind of be counterproductive to run that. But I highly recommend you guys try that out. It's really, really good. But yeah, so lightweight's really good just because a lot of attachments can reduce movement speed, and having that allows you to still move around faster. It's also very strong for cameraing with SMGs, and yeah, I think Overkill's also good, but it really just depends if you're trying to, you know, have speed, and I think speed in this game is very important. Now, I will say one thing is that having double time is very good if you have to get, like, hip-fire kills on a gun that has a big hip-fire spread, because you can crouch around faster, and crouching is going to increase it's going to decrease your hip-fire spread, so that way you can be able to hip-fire people easier. So that's a little tip and trick there for camos. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the shooting down of streaks with the M1 bazooka, and we'll go ahead and discuss that afterward. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the launchers. As you can see right here, I'm trying to line up with the outer ring, but I end up missing. This one I just kind of shoot one off because I'm trying to find the trajectory on that one because it was a little bit further away. You guys can see this one is coming in. Now it's coming in at full speed. These spy planes tend to slow down about halfway through their life cycle and tilt. So you see it tilted, it's slowed down, and you can see I'm lining up with the outer sight of the bazooka. And once I do that, I'm able to get a nice, free, and easy kill on that. Now, one of the things you do have to be careful of is the fact that these spy planes are going to not always be destroyed if you line up with the outer ring. It's really when they're directly overhead of you. But if they're a little bit further away, you have to get a feel for that trajectory. You have to line up in the line that the spy plane is moving. It's very tricky, but I can promise you, once you get 1 or 2 destroyed and you kind of figure out the trajectory of the rocket launcher that you are using, it becomes a lot easier to go ahead and destroy any sort of kill streaks in the sky. I would only recommend going for spy planes and counter spy planes whenever it comes to aerial streaks. The bombing runs are destroyable, but you honestly might as well just use like armor-piercing rounds or something against them, or just shoot them with half a mag and they're pretty much destroyed. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you can actually destroy a bombing run by doing that. But yeah, so that's all the tips I have here initially. Overall, I'm loving Vanguard. I'm really hoping for an STG nerf soon. They're doing the MP40. I think the damage mags are really what's causing the brokenness. Same thing with Vital, but anyways, we'll see what's in store. Gonna have some more guides coming up soon, as well as some more tips and tricks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Well played and